also love seeing you on Piers Morgan.
It's basically political bad girls club.
Yup.
So I finally just got to the point, I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Shank was over there acting like white supremacy is what's happening in Gaza. It's like, please, majority of those people over there aren't even white, and they really do not give a damn about any of the fake racial semantics that we try to do over here in America.
Yeah.
And then you had Dr. Cornel West trying to tell me that it's like I'm really supposed to have this mindset that I'm oppressed and I'm a victim. I'm chilling.
All right, guys, we're here with Xaviaer again. AmFest veteran, 4th time.
Oh, don't say it like that. I have been to every AmFest. It's been interesting each year. It's like such a different vibe. I feel like, honestly, last year, as great of a time as it was, I felt like people were a little bit discouraged, especially because, you know, people didn't know what was going on with President Trump and everything. But this year, the energy is so electric.
Yeah.
Everybody's just in a celebratory mood, just happy to be here.
Absolutely. There's been a lot of drama this week, though. A lot of speakers backing out.
I know. You know what? That's why I mind my business. I come here, I have my little champagne, I come on my little podcast, and I go home.
You do have a little bit of a tension with Tim Pool, though, right?
I want to say there's tension. I think he's mad at me.
Why?
My assumption is he's mad at me from what I've heard. So basically, do you remember Josh Sider?
No.
He was the guy who pretended to be trans. He used to be on The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically what had happened was there I was minding my business as per usual. And months ago, when Josh he had just started doing his whole thing, pretending to be trans, he messaged me and asking me if I and PragerU wanted to be a part of this grand reveal. So he was going to do this experiment trying to expose that the right was going to be way more accepting of him being transgender than the left and to make the left look like hypocrites. And I just left that on red because I cannot express enough how much I did not want to be a part of that mess. So months and months go on, and I'm seeing this guy like pretending to be a woman, doing these insane videos. And it got to the point where it's like, no shade. I know Josh, admittingly, has a lot of issues with his mental health. I'm like, I think he is so committed to this bit, he might be starting to believe a little bit of it. Right. So I started getting concerned. Well, anyway, I went on Megyn Kelly's show for the first time, which is a huge deal. And I did not expect Megyn to ask me about Josh. So I told her, and that was the first time I ever spilled the tea, that this is all a facade. This is all just a ruse to try to do some social experiment. And right after that, about a week or two after that, Tim Pool over at Timcast drops this huge, like this little documentary telling Josh's whole story and how they flipped the mission. And the mission then became to show how idiotic and overly accepting the left is. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm sorry that I wasn't trying to help somebody scam their audience and scam mine in the time being. Again, no shade to Tim Pool. I have no issues with him at all. But from what I've been told, he's mad at me because I ruined the grand reveal.
Damn. Well,
if that's completely wrong, Tim, blame the people who spread the rumors. I still love you.
Yeah. Well, he's getting a lot of heat now for joining Daily Wire. So I'm sure he's more worried about that than...
Oh, is that official?
I don't know if it's official, but rumors, I guess.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. There's always so many rumors. It's unfortunate. It's like if you don't come and clarify, then you never really know. But at the same time, you can't entertain every single rumor. Yeah. But it's interesting. Yeah. There's a whole lot of drama going on. It's kind of frustrating that so much drama is going on right now within the right-wing space. Right after we just had this huge win, everybody's already fighting each other.
So much. I thought that was a left thing to do.
You know what? I should have known better. Everybody is just full of drama. Politics and Hollywood are literally the same energy. It's like people just don't even realize how messy it is behind the scenes. There's so much politics behind the scenes of politics. It's a mess.
Predictions for Brett Cooper. Do you think she'll do better on her own?
Yeah. She'll definitely make a lot more money. I mean, when you go independent, you're able to monetize in so many more ways. And, you know, there is such a massive wave of support for her now that she's going independent that I think she's just going to keep riding that momentum, finding her own voice. And not saying that Daily Wire at all was forcing her to say anything or telling her not to say anything, but there is a different level of comfortability when you are on your 100% own platform and not having to align your values with a company's values, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you saw it with Candace Owens.
Exactly. Like Candace Owens is probably making more money than ever before. Her podcast is doing great numbers. I think Brett's going to see a lot of that success. Although I do think it's very unfair that the right is going so hard after Brett's friend or former friend, allegedly, her producer that's taking over the comment section, because I'm sure you've heard the rumors that they used to be really close and that she was the maid of honor at her wedding, and now Brett deleted all the photos. And you know what I have to say about that? It's really not my business. I'm nosy, so I'm going to make it my business, but it's really not my business. And I think that people need to stop being so hard on Reagan, I believe her name is, because she, to our knowledge in the public, she didn't do anything wrong. She was just getting her bag.
Yeah. A lot of people think she snaked her and stuff. Shout out to today's sponsor, Prolon. If starting the year with a fast feels a little daunting, you're not alone. There's an entire community of individuals wanting to make a meaningful decision in their health, just like you. This is what makes group fasting so powerful and why I'm joining in on Prolon's January Longevity Challenge, which is a coach-led program to set you up for fasting success. Prolon's fasting mimicking diet is a revolutionary plant-based nutrition program that nourishes the body while making cells believe they're fasting. I got all 5 boxes here and I'm starting day 1 tomorrow. It's researched and developed for decades at USC's Longevity Institute and backed by leading US medical centers. It helps promote healthy blood sugar, enhanced skin appearance, fat loss, and improved energy and focus. It all starts with their 5-day program, which contains snacks, soups, and beverages designed to keep the body in a fasting state. No guesswork or planning required, which is a relief after a busy holiday. If you guys are ready to make 2025 your healthiest year yet, order your Prolon 5-day kit at prolonlife.com/DSH. And they're offering Digital Social Hour listeners 15% off their 5-day nutrition program. Use the code DSH at prolonlife.com/DSH.
Now, if that's the case, then she deserves all the hell she's getting. But until we know that information, I think you're innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. I saw you just go on Michaela Peterson's show.
Yes, Michaela is amazing. Love her and her family.
How was that?
So good. We had an awesome conversation. We talked about so many things. We talked about everything from how fentanyl is being snuck into our country. I think we talked about that as well, about just like the insane amount of people who are dying every single year to this fentanyl crisis and nobody's talking about it. And we talked about my backstory, how I used to be a BLM activist, how ghetto that was, my Their Lives Matter doc, everything. I have nothing but great things to say about the Fuller family.
Yeah, shout out to Michaela. I also love seeing you on Piers Morgan.
Yes, now that's a hot mess of a show.
Yeah, I mean, he wants that though.
I know. He is literally, it's basically political bad girls club.
Yep.
Like I get on there and I just never know what to expect. Like it's so funny. The 2 most viral clips I have from his show are actually, what you don't see in the full context is that's like a 30-minute episode. And I'm just waiting my turn to speak because I was instructed beforehand that there were some people who had to leave this filming early. So I was supposed to wait. So I finally just got to the point. I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of this. Shank was over there acting like white supremacy is what's happening in Gaza. It's like, please, majority of those people over there aren't even white. And they really do not give a damn about any of the fake racial semantics that we try to do over here in America. Yeah. And then you had Dr. Cornel West trying to tell me that I must be the only black person who has never been wronged before. It's like, who has not been wronged? Please find me a white person that has never been attacked for being white or had shade thrown at them for being white or had something crazy said about them. Every single demographic deals with a little bit of racism, a little bit of stereotyping, and sometimes it applies. Yep. And when it does, even when it doesn't, I would say don't duck if it doesn't apply. Right. There's no need to be offended. So I said to Dr. Cornel West, I was like, I've been black for 27 years. Please tell me one thing that a white person can do that I can't do, because I'm still waiting for an answer for that. It's like I'm really supposed to have this mindset that I'm oppressed and I'm a victim and all these systemic racism issues are affecting me. I'm chilling. I am living a great life. I went from living in the hood of Chicago to wearing St. Laurent at a nice festival or nice function here at AmFest.
Let's go. I love it.
I'm not complaining.
So you're not a believer in white privilege?
You know, the way that people explain white privilege, I don't believe in that. But the thing is every group has certain little benefits that come with it. Like, and sometimes it applies to statistics. Like sometimes a white person is walking into a store and they're wearing the same outfit as a black person walking into the store, and they're both looking ratchet as hell. A lot of people are going to assume that the black person is more likely to be the one there to steal something. Right. And unfortunately, the stats align with that. And I hate to say it, and I don't think it's right to discriminate. It's not right to assume and to be prejudiced. But at the same time, when you notice patterns, you kind of notice patterns. Yeah. There's also black privilege. I get away with saying a lot of crazy stuff because I'm black. And I love that. Being black in America is a very easy life these days. So, you know, each group has their own little privileges, but they also have their own little downfalls. So when it comes to the general concept of white privilege, that it's so much easier for white people to live their life, please, I went and got my own privilege.
Yeah. People take it a little too far with the victim mentality and they blame it on generational stuff.
They do. And a lot of the things that they say is white privilege, it's really just socioeconomic privilege. Right. If you make a lot of money and have a lot of power, you are going to have more benefits that comes to you because of that. 100%. It doesn't matter if you're black and white. Only color that matters is green at the end of the day.
I want to dive into health for a bit. FDA potentially might outlaw food dyes. Did you see that?
As they should.
That needs to be 100% passed through.
I don't understand why it's taken this long. I mean, do you know how some of those food dyes are made? Like
dead insects, right?
Yes. Dead parasitic insects crushed up. There is no reason that we are eating dead parasitic insects. Like, I don't care what you claim you're doing to sterilize them. That is insane. And the chemicals that are going into these colors, I would rather have everything I eat be the color gray than be sitting here eating disinfectant like we have been. Like I told you before, I'm sober of crumble cookies now.
Yes. Oh, you are?
Yeah, I think I'm 9 months sober of crumble cookies now after learning that they're basically made with disinfectant and Windex.
Yep.
Like, it's unbelievable what they're putting into these foods.
Yeah. Do you think seed oils should be banned?
You know, I would have to do more research into it. I definitely avoid seed oils personally. I'm always careful when I say certain things should be banned. But overall, if they are banned, I think it's for the greater good of society. I also think people have the right to be big backs. If you want to be a woman of width and all you want to do is sit here and eat disgusting things and end up becoming extremely fat and unhealthy, I think you have the right to do that. But I do think there needs to be more regulations on what has seed oils, what has these unhealthy ingredients. If somebody, again, chooses that unhealthy lifestyle, that's on you. But I shouldn't be going and getting applesauce and then realizing that my applesauce has lighter fluid basically inside of it.
Yeah, absolutely. United Healthcare CEO, what's your take on what happened there?
You know, I think a lot of things are true at once. Everybody's trying to make this such a simplistic issue. It's like, yes, the healthcare industry is corrupt. This guy, what he approved and what he denied, we don't really know. The only thing we know about the United Healthcare CEO is his title and allegedly his salary. But what we also know is that he was a father, he was a husband, he was all these different things, and his life has been taken because somebody doesn't like the policies that they assume he's pushing forward. Now, the thing that's so crazy about actually, there's so many things to unpack there. First of all, killing that man is not going to do any drastic change in United Healthcare's policies. They're just going to replace him with some subordinate or some CEO from a different company.
Yep.
And things are going to be the same. They might make a little change here and there for the sake of optics, but I really don't think that incident is going to drive the revolution that people think it is. But now this like frenzy of people thirsting over Luigi Mansion, as I call him. I'm not going to even try to pronounce the name correctly. Luigi Mansion. It's so bizarre to me. I blame platforms like Netflix because they're always sexualizing and romanticizing murderers.
Yep.
Like, you see it with the Menendez brothers. You see it with the Jeffrey Dahmer situation. There is no logical reason why I'm on TikTok and I'm seeing people thirsting over Jeffrey Dahmer's character. That is repulsive. He literally murdered and ate people, and you guys are just casually okay with that and like sexualizing him. That is bizarre.
Yeah.
Like,
super
utterly
strange.
bizarre.
Yeah. Something about murderers women seem to like, huh?
Because so many women just want the most toxic men possible. And it's like the thought of them being with a murderer. But then it's crazy because the same girls who are romanticizing over a literal murderer are the girls who get so mad talking about how everybody's an F-boy. They can't find a single good guy. It's like, no, you keep dismissing the good guys because you want somebody who's going to slit your throat, literally.
Did you see how Taylor Lorenz reacted to that situation?
I did. And we actually got Air One Smoothies to talk about it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we did.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was actually a crazy link up.
Wait, you met her in person?
Yeah, we went to get smoothies. We're both Air One enthusiasts.
Oh, so you're friends with her?
We're well acquainted. It was the first time hanging out. So she interviewed me for Hollywood Reporter, and we were talking about Air One. So we were talking about how we were going to get smoothies. Because I always say, we can have completely different political beliefs as long as you stand on business and respect mine. That's fine.
Fair.
I just respect people who are really serious about their beliefs and can defend their beliefs, even if I completely disagree with them. So she and I went and we got smoothies and we're just talking about just different situations. And where we did find common ground is the healthcare industry is terrible. She was telling me just some of her backstory and her health situation. And everybody's always wondering, yes, she was wearing a mask when we went into Air One, but then she takes it off when we're outside. But anyway, she was telling me about her compromising and all the different things that she deals with. And I'm like, I get it. The healthcare industry has screwed me over too. But I told her, I was like, I think it's pretty insane the amount of support that this guy is getting for being a murderer. And you know what she said? Exactly what she said on Piers Morgan. She stands behind her beliefs. And I'm like, you know what? Not much else to say about it.
Yeah. I mean, that's respect if you have the same opinion in differing crowds.
Yeah.
You know, if she's saying the same thing consistently, at least she stands on it.
Exactly. It's like she means every word she says. So I respect her. Again, I told her, we kept telling each other where we think each other are crazy.
Yeah.
But she's nice. She's very sweet in person.
Yeah. So we got the resurgence of anti-Semitism right now. Would you ever debate someone like Nick Fuentes?
No.
That's where you draw the line?
In fact, I don't know her.
It's a guy.
I don't know her.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
I just don't think it's worth it. Because first of all, I've committed. I'm not going to debate anybody autistic.
Yeah.
Like I can't argue with autistic people anymore. There is a huge percentage of people in the commentary space who are autistic. And the thing is I like to have conversations where we can find common ground, where we can, admit where each other are wrong of that. A lot of the people on the autistic spectrum, they are unwilling to do that. And this isn't shade to anybody autistic. My nephew is autistic. I'm just saying, I only have so much patience and so much time in my day that I'm not going to argue with anyone who is a troll, anyone who is not willing to admit they're wrong, or anybody that's just going to sit here and be like, well, what about this? And then insert little trivia moment here. Yeah. Like, I just can't do it. But when it comes to Nick, it's like, he doesn't believe anything he says. I mean, he is.
You think so?
He is literally everything that is the worst part of the political atmosphere right now. I always said to myself, I didn't want to engage with him at all in my career, but that if he ever came at me, I was going to clap back one time and one time only. And that's what happened, basically. He came at me recently saying that I needed to go talk to my owners in Israel or something like that. So I made like a 1 minute video, and I read him for absolute filth. I've never seen a video hit 1 million views so fast because everything that he pretends to hate, he is. And I'm not going to rehash that too much, but
I got to watch that video.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know he had autism. Has he publicly announced that?
I just know it when I see it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess some people you could tell. Yeah, I haven't seen enough of his content to, I guess, form an opinion on that.
I've seen a lot of his clips against my will. And everybody's going to take this out of context and act like I'm attacking autistic people. I am not. I am just saying you get what I'm saying, don't you?
Yeah.
The audience, I hope you get what I'm saying. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
So I know you support Candace. She did just win anti-Semitism of the year. Did you see that?
She did.
What did you think about that?
I didn't think about that.
That's where you differ the most, I'd say, right? With her?
Yeah, of course. And, I hate to be corny and give the whole spiel of I don't agree with everything that this person says, because I feel like that should be assumed. It's like, just because I admire the work of somebody doesn't mean that I agree with every single thing that they say and do.
Right.
But, I respect her work in a lot of other elements. I mean, she was the biggest inspiration to my career.
Oh, nice.
So, and she's been so supportive of me, both publicly and behind the scenes. So am I going to attack her publicly? No. I just want it because I'm a loyal person and someone that has always had my back in my career. I'm not going to start an argument with you because at the end of the day, me arguing with Candace Owens online, the only thing that's going to do is give people something to be entertained by on Twitter.
Right.
I'm not going to make an enemy out of someone who has basically been a shadow mentor to me just because we heavily disagree on this one issue. And the thing is, and mind you, I've only met Candace in person once. If I saw her again in person and we had a conversation about it, I'm sure we would just agree to disagree. Yeah. And we would passionately agree to disagree. We'd probably both make fun of each other a little bit, but that's where that ends for me. Yeah. I'm not in the business of forcing people to believe what I believe. I just kind of put my thoughts out there. And if it's what you believe, great. If not, then let's have a conversation about it.
And that's respect, right? Because there's so many topics. If you agree with someone on every single topic, you're not thinking critically.
Exactly. It's like there are even things I said a couple years ago that I think back to. I'm like, you know what? I could have said that better. I could have worded that better. I shifted my perspective on this. I'm always willing to grow. So what I'm not going to do is have this unwavering allegiance to somebody's mindset or perspective that isn't my own. Yeah. The only thing that I'm trying to be 100% committed to is being transparent with my audience.
Absolutely. I know you got a new documentary you're working on, right? A new show?
So I have a new, my documentary, Their Lives Mattered, is out on PragerU.com. And I have a new show coming out. January 23rd is our estimated first day. It's going to be a live show called Respectfully Xavier, where I am disrespectfully going off about everything.
Oh, I love it. You going to have guests on or just solo?
Both. It's going to be mostly solo, but I definitely want to have guests on there. Would love to have you on there sometime. Yeah. But it's going to be a live show talking about everything from politics, pop culture, news, entertainment, a little bit of history, and just my rants of the week.
I love it, man. We'll link it below. Thanks so much for coming on. Anything else you want to close off with here?
Please check out all the great work we're doing at PragerU, PragerU.com. You can make a tax-deductible donation today.
Boom. We'll link that as well. Thanks for coming on. Peace, guys.
Thank you.